Good afternoon. If I had to tell you about my strongest quality in the questions, it would be perseverance. I've persevered through a lot in my life. I have a 10th grade education, not by choice. My mom, she was not the easiest to live with. So she kind of kicked me out and I kind of left in 10th grade. I didn't really have a choice. So I had a full time job. And I did that until I was old enough to take my GED. I took that and passed it the first time. May not sound like much, but it really is. A lot of people struggle with that. And then I worked some more until I turned 17, and then I joined the military. She didn't really disapprove at all. It wasn't really exactly hard to get her to sign. Went through boot camp, made it through that just fine. Went to my first duty station at Pearl Harbor in Honolulu. Spent some time there on the 378th of Jarvis, which has now been decommissioned as a non-rate. I struck storekeeper on my own, which means that I completely, when you say struck, I did it all on my own. I had all the books and materials. I passed all the tests. I also passed the test to advanced E4, which is, some branches call it non-commissioned officer. I did that all on my own. A lot of people go to school, but there's some programs that you can strike. So I did that on my own, and then I transferred out to Station Panama City, Florida, and was there. Did a lot of things in the small boat station sector, body recovery, helo ops, port security, a lot of things like that. I enjoyed it, to say the least. I'd go back and do it all over again if I could. Well, one of the strongest things that I learned was that I had to not only learn to be a leader in the sense of being an NCO, non-commissioned officer, but you have to learn to listen before you can learn to lead. And that's why in boot camp they break you down so much. And they do that for a reason, because they teach you that you have to leave that civilian mindset behind. And I have that pretty strong still today. We had to do a lot of things at the station, like body recovery, things like that. There was always good times too. It wasn't always bad. It wasn't always stressful. Like getting called on to wrap Christmas gifts for everybody's wives and girlfriends and things like that, because apparently I could do that better. Taught me a lot. If anything, it improved my gift wrapping skills for sure. I've had numerous jobs. Started off working for Forney ISD as a school bus driver, and then I applied for the in-school suspension aid position where I had my own classroom, dealt with a lot of troubled kids. Really enjoyed it. I wish I would have stayed there. I didn't think I liked it that much at the time, but I really did. I got to spend a lot of time with a lot of good kids. I know they were bad, but in my eyes, they were pretty good. Once we got over the hurdle of them feeling like they had to show me what they were all about, then we broke the ice, and then I got to move into more of a mentor role. I've helped a lot of them, as a matter of fact. When they found out I was a veteran and things like that, we kind of opened up, and of course, the worst ones always want to join the Marine Corps. I think that's funny. I joke with my husband about that, because he's Marine, and they really enjoyed it. I got to help them with a lot of their paperwork and recruiters and things like that, and helping them look at some other options as far as jobs that maybe a recruiter didn't think to show them, because mostly recruiters have a quota to meet as far as jobs and enlistments and things like that. So it was really enjoyable to help them. It's nice to get to see them flourish through social media and things like that. It's a good way to keep up to this day. I had one join the Navy. He's a really good kid. A lot of them are good kids. They're just really misguided. Needed the military in their lives to help them shape them, because God knows their parents weren't doing it. So then I moved on to the position. After it came available, I applied and got it for the attendance clerk position, where I did a lot of things with truancy, court filings, going to court, things like that. It was pretty successful. I got it up to 97%, what they call ADA, which is the average daily attendance, which if that means the school gets paid. Under certain amounts, they don't get paid. So it's a big deal. The attendance is a really, really big deal. And then dealing with parents and things of that nature. I think me being a veteran was a big play in that, because I was able to put them to the fire, and not let them intimidate me like they tried to do with the previous person, and some successfully did. It'd be a very intimidating job, dealing with parents. I'm telling somebody they're going to go to jail and they're going to pay court costs and fines and things like that. It's a pretty big deal. I think anybody would get defensive to some nature. I feel like a lot of my past experiences have got me to where I am today. Mother of 3, host mother to 1 foreign exchange student, wife, mother to a dog, and I'm finally getting to go back to college, which means a lot to me. I tried before in the past, but it didn't work out so great. I had to quit to take care of my grandmother because she was very sick until she died. And then I started having children and things like that. So now here we are today, and I'm finally getting that chance, and that means a lot to me. more so than it probably does some kids straight out of high school that their parents are paying for their college, and it's just something they have to do. This isn't something I really have to do, but it means a lot to me as a person. It's something that I need to do for myself and my kids. Can't really tell them to go to college if I'm not going to have a college education as well. A lot of the people where I grew up, they weren't as lucky. I grew up in a small rural town in Mobile County, Alabama. A lot of the people, meth's a big problem there. It's abundantly clear if you ever go through there on 98, going through Mississippi anyways, to Alabama. And it's been a lot to me to get out of there and get away from that at a young age. It's probably the only thing that saved my life. A lot of people I grew up with aren't so lucky. If they're still alive, that is, or not in prison. They're usually pretty scary looking at this point. So I had a great opportunity. I've served my country. And I feel like I'm still doing that to this day. I'm pushing kids to join the military. Some good kids, definitely some good opportunities there. Not only for them, but for the government as well, to have them in their corner. So one thing we'll always need is enthusiastic young people that want to be there and do what they're supposed to do. And given the opportunity, I'd do all this all over again. I think leaving home at 15 taught me a lot. I try to tell my kids every day, y'all have it really good. And of course, they'll never really know. I don't want them to know those situations, but it definitely made me a lot stronger. I definitely feel like I'm going on 50, not 30 at this point. Just a lot of people laugh when I say I feel old at 30, but I feel like perseverance is a big thing that got me through it. I don't think anybody that didn't have perseverance couldn't have dealt with it. I don't think they could have dealt with it. So that's the gist of it all, is perseverance, and thank God for it. Thank you.